Good morning, YouTube, or good afternoon or good evening, because I don't know when you're watching this video, but it is Saturday. It's about 8 a.m. Taking a little walk with my dog. Just reflecting right now. Today, I woke up a few times, and I don't know why this happens. I wake up like at 3 in the morning, then I fall asleep, then I wake up at 5, and then I fall asleep. But when I do wake up, I tend to just pray. I'll put a sermon on, or I'll put something on that'll help me. I can probably say my body's probably getting used to not being on social media. I know that to some people it's not a big deal. You know, I know when I was on there, I didn't think much of it, but I can honestly admit that I got addicted to the swiping motions of stuff, right? And I know I saw some videos on that previously, I don't know when, but I know that's kind of a thing. And I felt like that happened to me. I would be on TikTok, I would be on Facebook, Instagram, just looking for distractions, right? And I know I look for distractions because there's things that I'm experiencing in my life. And just to be open, because I want to be open for men to be able to maybe relate in some way. The reason I'm doing all this work on myself, I'm pretty sure some people are wondering, like, man, what's going on with Joe? Or Jose, now that I'm calling myself Jose. So I've been trying to work on myself because my partner and we've had fallouts, and I just want my relationship to work with her. And as I've gotten closer to God, I've been asking God to break me down, to like fix me and like kind of show me what parts of my life are bad, or what I need to work on. And it's a lot of it's a lot of work. Where I'm at right now, man, it's a lot. I had a great conversation with one of my clients yesterday. But the reason I'm doing this is because my girl is emotionally intelligent. So she knows when she doesn't feel right. She knows when she doesn't feel validated. She knows when she doesn't feel appreciated. And in the way I've been raised and the way I've experienced love and abuse and whatever throughout my life, it's starting to show in the relationship. And I want to do what's best for us, and I want us to have a healthy a healthy relationship with my spouse. Like, I want all this to be worked out. And I think what I experience is the shame, and that's what by me reading these books and watching videos, and like I'm putting in the work, going to therapy on once a week. It's a lot, man. It's a lot that I can say, because there's a lot of me that's kind of like not right. And it takes, you gotta be so down and so desperate to change. And it's just not changing. Like, there's so many changes going on in my life. Even me feeling like I may have a change in career, like that's how it's gotten to that level. And it's a lot, you know, but the reality is my relationship with my partner is way more valuable than other things. So then I have to prioritize, and I've been doing that. And then I watch a lot of videos about relationships, and you know, the analogies that you can use for a relationship is like your relationship is like a plant. If you're not watering it and nurturing it, it'll die. And so when I start thinking of that, I'm like, man, I have been a self-centered person. You know, I have a lot of wounds that I've experienced in my life. So I don't know how to process, you know, criticism when I feel like I'm a failure. If I feel like I'm failing, then I'm like, man, I'm failing at work. I'm failing in my house. I'm failing in my relationship. So then you start feeling like the victim, and that's wrong to do. You want to find solutions. You want to deal with things, and it just requires effort. And sometimes we think that things are supposed to be just smooth. Like, it's just supposed to happen. Like, we're supposed to just make this relationship work. You pick me, I pick you, and that's it. And it's like, no. Especially when you're dealing with someone that's emotionally intelligent. So my girl is she's very smart. And but she's done a lot of work. She's gone through a lot of therapy. She's put in the effort to be a great partner. She knows how to trust somebody wholeheartedly, and I never knew how to do that. I know how to put on the charade. I know how to play the part, but I didn't know how to do it internally. So that connection wasn't being met for her when she knew. And we both felt it. Like, we're so great for each other. We have a lot of similarities. We have a lot of the same likes. We love doing a lot of things together. But the trust is not there. Her feeling safe with me is not there. And what I mean by not being, like, not feeling safe is, like, she doesn't feel like I'm taking her into consideration. I don't put her above me. Like, I don't put her needs over my needs. And that's the part that hurts her, because then she doesn't feel like she's valued. And see, a lot of us men are told, like, hey, you got to look out for yourself, bro. You got to take care of you first. You got to take care of you first. So then my dog is acting up and he's shaking my camera and he's getting me upset. But anyway, we're given bad information. And that's why I'm working on myself biblically and also emotionally, because I want to be able to process things when I have these hard conversations with my girl. And I'm just preparing myself, taking notes, and working through things, because that's what it's going to take. If I want this relationship to work, if I want to make her feel validated, if I want to understand what her love language is, that's one of the steps. Understanding what makes her happy, what triggers her, what makes her have concerns, and and it's just opening up and being vulnerable, dog. And that's the part that a lot of us men, we're not taught that, dude. I know I wasn't taught that. I can't speak for everybody, so I don't want to make a blanket statement, but majority of the friends that I know, we don't get down like that. But I'm trying to get down like that, because right now I don't have any friends. Like, I'm not that I don't have friends. I have people I can call, but the way I'm looking at it right now is like, I'm separated from everything right now. I'm not connected. I'm not accessible to anybody but my clients, right? So that's the only people that I talk to. That's the only people I engage with. I don't go out to clubs. I don't go out to bars. I don't go out to anywhere. When I go get food, I go get my food, and then I come back home. And the reason I can say, like, oh man, this sucks. My life sucks right now. But the reality is I'm basically going through rehab by myself. And I have to push forward. And even at the cost of it being where I have to accept the fact that maybe this relationship is not going to move forward the way I would like it to, the reality is the work that I'm doing will get me prepared for the next person. If there is a next person, I'll be prepared for them emotionally. I'd be available emotionally to that individual. And sometimes people are just lessons in your life. Majority of the time, people are lessons in your life. And man, there's a lot of regret that I had to, like, sift through. There's a lot of things that I've done in my past. So, and some stuff are intentional. Like, there's stuff that I did that I'm like, man, I did that because I was pissed off and they deserved it. But then as I'm growing and going through this and maturing, then the guilt comes back, because I'm like, man, I put myself in those other people's shoes. But I can't go back to the past. So I have to better myself now and focus on now and change my future. And that's what I'm doing. And that's what I want to encourage other men to do. God is first in everything that we do, man. God is first. But God, He's going to allow us to go. Like, you have to show God, like, I want this to happen, God. And I want to be saved. And yes, my salvation is there 100%. I don't question that at all. It's not that. I want God to change me from within. He's changing my heart. But he's also changing my mind to understand perspective. And like, look, just because I was neglected as a kid, or just because I grew up, all that, yes, we can acknowledge that. But it's my responsibility to sift through and heal myself. No one can heal me. Like, God can heal me. Yeah, God is healing me. But there's actions that I have to take, and that's what I'm doing, man. And I encourage other people to do the same thing. And that's why I share my videos. And that's why I want people to know that it's going to take work, man. And it's not easy. Bro, it's like working out. Just because you go to the gym once a week doesn't mean you're going to get results. You know what I mean? Come on, let's go. We're going to walk back this way. There's a cat over there. I don't want him to get all crazy. Quavo, you're going to knock me down. So look, this is how big my dog is. So when people are like, man, that dude's always tripping. Like, he's a big dog. He weighs about 90 something pounds. So anyway, he's a XL bully. But yeah, man, so that's what I'm going through in my life. That's the reason I like sharing these videos. I watch a lot of videos. I read a lot of books. And that's what I'm doing right now. Just rehabilitating myself through the help of God, the Holy Spirit. And this is my journey right now. Just healing. And I still got bills. I still got, I got to clean my room, got to do laundry, got to take care of this guy, give him attention, and give my family attention, go to church. Tomorrow, I still got to wake up at 6 a.m., be at church by 7, serve and help and pour into the community that's there at my church, and get ready for Monday and, get ready for bills. It's the end of the month, so I got to take care of whatever bills. And I got a bunch of bills that I have to pay, and it's a lot. But I'm trusting God with all that. I haven't spoken to my girl. It's already been 8 days because she's out in Oregon with my son, and it kills me that I haven't seen her. It kills me that I haven't seen him. All I wanted to do is FaceTime. But she needs to heal right now, so I have to respect her space, and I have to do that. And as much as it hurts, man, I'm just like I have to get myself and put myself in her shoes. And right now her heart hurts because I betrayed her trust. I told her that I wasn't going to do something, and I did it. I told her I was not going to go play basketball in this alumni tournament. And I went to play anyway because I felt like that's what I needed. So it's not like I did something bad. Most guys are going to be like, dog, she's tripping. But no, it's the trust factor. It's the feeling safe of knowing that I'm going to do the right thing and hold myself to that standard. And it didn't put her needs first because she needs me to show her that I'm putting her first in that sense, in that regard, as far as what is convenient. Right, it's convenient to just do anything. But then if it's going to affect my partner, I need to take that into consideration. I didn't function like that for a long time. So getting used to that, bro, it's a lot of work. And but it's worth it. She's worth it. She deserves that. So that's what I'm trying to do, is give her that. And it like I said, man, it's a lot of work. And I just want to encourage anybody that is in a relationship or in a marriage and you're struggling with that, I encourage you, man, to get help, or research how you can help yourself. I wish I was computer savvy. I wish I knew how to do all this stuff so I can put some links and some authors and books that I'm reading. I don't remember all that off the top of my head, especially when I'm walking. I'll try to put in the description, try to put something in there. I just record these videos. I don't edit them, and I just upload them. I do everything through my phone. I have a computer somewhere, a laptop, but it's an old one. I need to upgrade it. Eventually I will, but it's like my girl and I have these grand plans, man. There's a future that we can see together with each other, and I hold on to that because we're great together. When things 30% of the time, this frustration this transparency, this vulnerability, this accountability, this respect, like everything that matters, those little things, that's the glue that keeps all the pieces together. And if you don't have that glue, I don't care how everything else, because the rest of our relationship is like perfect. Like we laugh together, we sing together, we like eating the same food. She always has some kind of new something. I got something new that she hasn't tried. So we do that. We love doing date nights, going to the movies. Of course, right now we have the baby, but all that other stuff I can do. It's just the emotional intelligence part is what I struggle with, because I wasn't raised that way, man. I was raised in a bad environment, my mom, I feel bad for my mom though, but that's just the truth. But I'm still accountable for that. It's my responsibility to heal. So that's what I'm encouraging any man out there. If you're going through something like this, please don't dismiss, get help. Go to your church, talk to your pastors and get help so you can talk to other men. I'll promise you, we all have the same story. At one point or another, we had to cross this bridge. And I don't want to cross this bridge by myself. So that's why I reach out to my friends. And I have a great mentor that's helping me, my friend Albert. And he went through the same thing. His was worse. His story is way worse. But all glory to God that he got the help he needed. And his family is beautiful. He has a beautiful wife. He has 2 kids. I think he has 4 kids when I saw his family picture. But regardless, I know if... morning. So yeah, man, I know if he can do it, I can do it, bro. Like, that gives me hope. And that's why you need people like that around you. And the reality is, man, you got to cut out your friends that are toxic, your friends that are just like struggling in life and not trying to change. You got to cut them out, bro. I'm sorry that it sounds ugly, but dude, it's like putting a beautiful flower and surrounding it by a bunch of weeds. The weeds are going to take over, man. You can't be around those weeds. You got to surround yourself with other flowers. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty in that. When you surround yourself with other flowers, you're going to attract the right bees. Everything works out. It's meant to be that way. But if you're surrounded by a bunch of weeds, bro, they will take over. They'll take over your life, over your views, over your boundaries, everything. And I'm not surrounded by anybody that's giving me bad advice right now. I'm surrounded by people that are God-fearing, that love marriage, that love relationship, that love family. And because they value that so much, everything else doesn't matter. And I'm not saying that you're going to just avoid everybody. It's not like that. But you have to decide what is going to be beneficial, what's going to be nutritional for your well-being and your relationship. That's what needs to happen. You got to focus on God and focus on the great qualities that you're holding on to. And then you're going to know what it is that needs to happen in your life, who can be in it and who can't. You got to know when you're going to be able to be at these places that you go to. And if you're connected with your spouse, y'all are going to be able to read that energy in the room and be like, yeah, this is not for us. We need to get out of here. And you can make that decision together. Of course, you want to be the man, the head of the house, and lead and say, you know what, baby, I don't feel like this is good for us. Let's get out of here and go do something else. Then when you have that confidence and she has that trust in you, now you're doing something, man. So I want to encourage you on that part as well. So I know that there's a lot of things that are working against us. We still got life. We got our job. We got our creativity. We have our problems. There's still things. I mean, bro, if I were to tell y'all everything that I'm going through, you'd be like, bro, you ain't got time for all this. But the reality is that I know God gave it to me because I can handle it. And he's forcing me to mature. He's forcing me to grow. He's forcing me to evaluate myself. He's forcing me to trust him. And that's what I'm doing. And it's hard, man. It's a challenge. every day because there's a new problem, there's a new bill, there's more debt, there's this, my body hurts, my, this happened and that happened. And then there's, my son was arguing with his girl, and I'm trying to be an example for them so they can see, like, look, God's going to repair my relationship, and y'all are going to want to do the same thing we did. Y'all are going to want help because you see what God's doing with me and my girl. And that's what I want to do. I want to be their advocate. I want to make sure that they can trust me and that I have a formula that they can follow because it's worked. And one thing, man, let me give you one great piece of information that I received yesterday from my friend. We had a real good, and I know that it was divine. God put my friend in my life for a reason. College educated, really good dude. Been his friend for a long time. I think this is the most that we've talked. But he told me, when someone labels himself something, right? If someone says, man, I'm a great basketball player, or I'm a great barber, or I'm a great something, or I'm this type of person, logical, illogical, humanitarian, whatever. When you're talking about that, the definition of reality of you calling yourself that, someone has to be observant of that. Someone has to see you do that, and they can say that about you, but you can't say that about yourself. That's how reality is broken down. So sometimes I will call myself something. I'm a rational person, or I'm a logical person, or blah, blah, blah. But if that cannot be validated or witnessed by somebody, I can't label myself that and just like make it true. You know what I'm saying? So that's the definition of reality in that portion of my life and your life. Don't label yourself something thinking that, well, that's what I am. And there not be any proof of that. So there has to be proof. There has to be a witness. Nothing exists until someone sees it happen. And that's, so there's a cat. There's a cat. This dude turned me around. There's a dog behind us. So this is what I'm dealing with when I'm walking my dog right now. But anyway, I really hope this helps somebody. I really enjoy making these videos and sharing what it is that is going on, because I'm telling you, man, we all need help, and there is help out there for us. We have to want it more than we want to, like, self-loathe, or like we go into depression, we shut down. I know that was my thing. I would shut down, bro. I would just put my walls up and shut down completely. I don't want to trust nobody. I don't want to be around nobody. I do my job and go into my room, go to sleep. Little by little, God is taking me out of that. Little by little, I started working out, started walking again, making these videos. I don't think I'm ready for social media right now, because I still feel like there's areas in my life that I need to heal. So that's called maturity. Like, you know what? I'm not ready for that right now. I think it'll be overwhelming, and I don't want that. Then I take into consideration, if I were to do that while my partner is out of town, that's going to affect her. So I'm not going to do that. I have to wait until she gets back. Then we talk about our relationship and see how it's going to move forward. And then I could make that decision. So that's another reason why that's called being considerate of your partner. And a lot of those things that we do like that, we don't get credit for. And a lot of us men, we value the reward system. It's like, man, if I ran 2,000 yards in a season, I want a trophy, or I want some kind of award, or, that's how we are. And we don't always get awarded or rewarded in those decisions. But when you're doing right, that's why you got to credit it to God and say, you know what, I'm doing it for God and I'm doing it for myself. So I hope that makes sense to somebody. I hope it helps in some ways. I hope and I pray that you get the help that you need. And I hope that you put the work in to get your relationship back to a point where it's getting watered and it's growing, and that you're feeling appreciated and loved and all that stuff, man, because life is too short and we all deserve to be loved. I don't care what you've gone through in your life. I don't care if you've made mistakes, and I don't care. Nobody deserves to not be loved, appreciated, respected, valued. We all deserve that, But first it starts with God. If you don't have God in your life, man, none of this stuff is going to matter. None of this stuff is going to work. None of your accomplishments, your job, no relationship is going to be what God intended it to be. It may be a reflection of it, or it may be like similar to it, but it's not going to be what God intended it to be, man. You know, being able to have a loyal, trustworthy partner doesn't mean you're never going to argue. You're going to have differences because you're two different people, two different backgrounds, two different everything. But the reality is, when you both put in the effort and say, you know what, I want a healthy relationship, I want to love you, and I want to trust you. And when both partners think like that, it'll work, man. But you're going to need counseling. You're going to need therapy. And this is a lifestyle. This is not a fix where you just go to therapy for, you know, ours is going to be 12 weeks of therapy that I'm going to pay for and sign up for if my girl decides to move forward with me in this. And then after that, we take the tools that they taught us and we continue to use them for the rest of our life. Because then when we're on year 20 and she's a little upset at something, I still got to love her. I'm still going to adore her. I still want to make her happy. And I want to feel proud that I have a woman that loves me and that I'll do anything for her. And I talk to her like that now. I do. I'll do anything for my girl. But the thing is, what was stopping me from doing things that matter to her, because we can do I'll jump off a building for her, right? But is that going to validate her? Is that going to make her feel loved? Is that going to make her feel the intimacy that she wants to feel, the connection? No. So us guys, we think like, man, I'll do whatever for my girl, man. I'll jump out the window. I'll jump out a plane. I'll blah, blah, blah. It's like, but is that what she wants? Is that what she wants? Like, do what she wants so you can make her happy. As long as it's not hurting yourself, or as long as it's not to the point where you're losing who you are, like, your feelings matter too. But the fact is, most of our women just want us to be loyal to them. Is number one. Be faithful to your wife. Don't cheat on your wife, man. And cheating doesn't mean just physically. Don't be liking other girls' pictures. Don't be, visiting websites that you shouldn't be visiting. Like, those are the things that destroy the trust. Because then they feel like, well, I got to look like her for him to look at me that way. And it's like, dude, you're going to destroy your mind and rotten it by doing that. So don't do that. Don't give in to that. That's number one. Number two is being able to identify what makes her happy, being able to identify what makes her unhappy, being able to identify what triggers her. And this means you sit down and you say, honey, I got a couple of questions that I want to ask you because I want to understand what who you are, so I can work towards being better for you. And then that's when she's going to be like, oh, damn, he's really trying. And then you want to, get her some flowers every now and then, write her some notes, give her some poetry. I don't care what it is that you do, but make her feel valuable, make her feel special, make her feel like, just wash her clothes for her. And like little things that I do for my girl, I'll go fill up her gas tank. I'll take her car to get washed. Like every now and then, take it to get detailed, whatever, right? Those are little things that you can do. Wash her clothes. Or sometimes I don't wash my girl's clothes because she gets mad. Like, you're supposed to put it on delicate. And I don't use that detergent. I use this. So then I have to remember. So then I try to do that for her. I know her favorite foods. I know what she likes. Like, those are the things that I know, that I keep track of, because it's like maintaining it. You have to maintain your woman, maintain the relationship, just like you maintain yourself, and she's going to do the same for you. So I'm not saying that it's all about her, but at one point you have to give in to that, of knowing that, look, it's all about you right now. I'm going to do whatever it takes because I want to make you happy. I'm your man. It's my job to make sure that you're happy. And not entirely like that, like, because she has to do stuff to make herself happy. But you have to have that intent of knowing that, you know what, I'm taking responsibility because I want to love you the way Christ loved the church. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm going biblically on this. I'm not just going worldly, like, because some people are like, nah, bro. She has to come in as an adult and she has to be responsible for her happiness and her bills and her this and her that. But biblically, God commands us to provide for our family. Now, if you have a good duo and both of y'all are working and making money, that's great. But when you look at it biblically, God commands us to provide for our women. And it's hard in this. Believe me, I'm thinking about getting 2 or 3 jobs just because that's how bad I want my relationship to work. I don't want my finances to get in the way, but I have to be strategic because I don't want to be working 60 hours a week and then give the remainder to my family. Like, that's not good. So I have to figure things out. So with the guidance of God and the Holy Spirit, that I know that I'll figure that out. So I'm not worried about it like that, but I know that's a priority in my mind. So if you're not struggling financially and your money's good, then this should be something you don't have to worry about. But I'm just saying, man, like, if you want your relationship to flourish, you got to start little by little, man. You don't bring a plant back to life overnight. It takes time and it takes consistency. And that's why I'm telling you that this is a lifestyle that you're going to have to make an adjustment, and then you just continuously move forward and you grow with it, and it'll flourish into something so beautiful. It's going to be worth the effort. And like I said, I'm already open into saying, like, you know what? My girl may not want to move forward, and she has every right to feel that way. I have to be ready to receive that and respect that and then move forward. So all the work that I'm doing now, she may not benefit from it, but my next partner will. I don't want that. But I have to remind myself that I don't control her. And I still got to have a healthy life without her. I'm not going to crash and burn because I'm going to be heartbroken. I will be heartbroken, and it's going to be devastating if that's the decision she makes. But I had every opportunity to make it right, and I didn't do it. So the empathy and all the other variables that come into, she'll probably forgive me, but it's easy for her to make that decision and me be able to respect it, is what I'm saying, because I made a lot of mistakes that I was not aware. But just because I can say that and be like, oh man, why didn't know any better? It's like, well, by you being naive is not an excuse. That's not an excuse. It's not valid. So, okay, this decision needs to make, and we need to part ways, and that'll suck. But I have to be realistic with myself and know, like, all this work that I'm doing, it's either going to benefit my relationship now, or it's going to have to benefit the relationship that God has for me after this. And I don't like to think that way, but I have to be able to say it out loud, because I have to know that that is a possibility. I don't see my girl doing that, because I know she loves me and she knows that I love her, and we have a son together, and we want a happy and healthy relationship. Right now, I think that she just needs time. I can use this time to just, be sad and stay in my room and not do much. But nah, bro, I'm using this time to get closer to God. I'm using this time to work on myself, take care of my responsibilities, take care of my bills, credit cards, mortgage, all the stuff that I need to, catch up on. And anything that needs my attention, I'm giving it to it right now that she's not here. And that's what you do. You make use of time and be responsible. And I'm not on social media. I'm not scrolling and spending hours just doing nothing, or just, dreaming of, oh man, I want my relationship to be better. No, I'm working towards it. I'm taking steps. And I know that she will respect that so much, because once she knows that I'm doing that, she knows that I'm fighting for us. I'm fighting for myself, but I'm fighting for us. And when people that are healthy see you do that, they value that, they honor that, they respect that. And that's what it's about. Taking accountability, taking responsibility, putting the efforts in daily to work on yourself, to work on understanding, to opening up and being vulnerable. At the end of the day, man, it's just understanding emotional intelligence. So that's what I encourage you to look into. And but like I said, you still got to pray. You still got to trust God. You still got to work on that part, because with God, everything is possible. God's going to give you the tools, but you got to put the work in. And that's the thing. Sometimes, like, even me, I'm like, man, God, I just want my business to flourish. And it did. And then when it did flourish, I did everything wrong with that money, everything wrong with my position, and I wasn't ready. So now I'm like, all right, God, I'll wait. If I open my business back up later on, cool. If I don't, I'm okay. I'll humble myself. I don't care where I got to work right now, because I've been at the top and I've been at the bottom, dog. As long as I got my family, and as long as I got God, and as long as I know that I'm doing the right thing, I don't care where I'm working at, dude. As long as I have enough to pay my bills, I don't have to live a lavish lifestyle and do all those things. That'll come in time. I know it'll come. I'm not worried about that right now. I just want to make sure that I'm on solid ground, that I have a routine, that I am accountable, that I have consistency in my life, and then I can build off of that. The foundation is everything, man. So right now, God's rebuilding my foundation and everything, my relationship, my life, my career, and then we're going to flourish upwards. So thank you for joining me in my journey, and I hope I can help you, man. Stay blessed.